So let's go ahead and get started with the silk right behind you. It should be close enough where it is touching your back. Inhale, reach your arms up, look up, find the center of the silk, grab the two poles with both hands, and then extend your arms out to your sides, flex your hands, and press the heels of the hands into the silk. Wrap the shoulders down away from your ears. Inhale, look up, extending the whole front of the spine. Then your exhale, start to take your sit bones back towards that back wall, slide your hands down, tuck your chin on your way down, and soften your knees. Press your palms into the fabric. Inhale, find a flat back, lengthen your spine. Create space between the shoulders and the ears. And then exhale, go ahead, fold a little bit deeper. Stay here this time. Tuck your chin and alternate bending one knee and then the other. You should feel a nice stretch coming into the back lines of the legs, releasing into the hamstrings. You can bend both knees a few times, bend and straighten, bend and straighten. And then soften your knees, draw your navel back and in towards the spine. And wait for your inhale, and on your inhale, start to press through your feet, rise all the way up, extend your arms out on your way up. Inhale, look up, open up the chest. Press out with your arms. And then on your exhale, come back to your neutral position, move the silk back behind you. And I want you to hook the fabric just about bra strap height, right underneath your shoulder blades. Once you have that placed, go ahead, lower down to our chair pose, Utkatasana. Feet are about hip distance, drop the pelvis down. Allow the spine to come into length and traction. And then interlace the fingers, drop the head back into the hands, elbows wide, support the head. Extend your legs, turn your toes out, and then just gently start to bend one knee and the other knee. Allow your upper body to swing side to side. Keep dropping your weight back into the silk, keep cradling the head. And as you create more flexibility of the spine, drop your weight further back, bring a deeper back bend over the silk. Slow your movement down. And make your way back through center. Once you're in center, take your arms back to the silk. Drop the hips down and adjust those feet back about hip distance. Feet are parallel. Take a big step back with your right foot, long distance between your legs. Rise up a little bit so you're pushing your feet down and towards the ground so you can square off the hips and then sink down into that left knee. Make sure the left knee is directly over the ankle. Keep pressing down to the feet, tucking the tailbone, belly is engaged, ribs are in and up, creating length through the rest of the spine. If you'd like, interlace your fingers, palms together, cross at the thumbs, and just start to add a little back bend. If this is too much, you can always stay center instead. If it's okay, lengthen, open up the spine. Keep the legs active. Right glute is engaged. Stretch further back on every exhale. And then allow your inhale to pull you back through center. Arms come back to the silk. Lower the right knee down, top of the right foot down. Slide the left leg forward, foot is flexed. Pull left hip bone back, right hip bone forward, and try to drag the skin on the left heel back. Now keep the position the legs, elbows inside the fabric, pop the fabric off your shoulders, and then pull your hips back. Allow your hands to slide down the fabric all the way until your wrists touch. Once they touch, interlace the fingers, pull down and forward with the elbows. Now the whole time the pelvis keeps moving back. Chest is going towards the thighs. Nose is going towards that left big toe. Create as much length in the spine as you can. So try to refrain from rounding the spine. Really keep extending forward with the chest, with the heart. Now, if this left foot is not center with the mat, I want you to do a little adjustment and move that so it's a little bit more center. Extend your arms, line up your biceps with your ears, belly in. And take this left hip into an external rotation. So we're going to keep the left foot flexed. Start to take the outer edge of the left foot towards the ground. Press your left hip bone back and start to twist your upper body towards the left. Now you should feel the thighs squeezing in on each other. The whole right side of the body stretching. Try to refrain from blocking that left knee. Keep pressing that left leg straight. Every exhale, twist further. And then use your inhale, come back through center, extending those left toes up towards the sky. And then very gently start to roll up. Head is always the last thing to come up. And then take this left leg back to meet the right. Inhale, pull down the silk, tilt the tailbone up, look up. Exhale, tuck the tailbone around the spine, navel in, ribs in, push the silk forward, draw the chin into the chest, and repeat that a few times. Inhale, pull down, tilt the tailbone up, look up. Exhale, tuck around the spine, draw the chin in, push the silk forward. 2 more like that. Inhale, pull down, tilt the tailbone up, look up, stretching the whole front line of the body. Exhale, around the spine, tuck the chin. Last one, inhale, pull down, look up. Exhale, round. Use this to round you all the way up. So you're rising up onto your knees. Pull down the silk, elbows pull towards the ribs. You want to pull down nice and tight. Step your right foot directly underneath your plumb line. The plumb line is going to be the direct center underneath the silk. Once again, interlace the fingers so you create this nice tight hold on the silk. And then moving like you're moving through water, step down into your right foot, press the fabric forward, extend your left leg straight back, line up biceps with the ears, belly in. Everything is reaching straight and long. Warrior 3, find the balance. Belly towards the thigh, legs engaged, arms engaged, ribs pulling in. Take 1 more breath. Then you're going to take this left foot across. Hook it in front of the right. So you're creating a little cross. Little toes together, heels down. Press the silk forward. Keep that flat back and just start to swing the upper body side to side. Keep pressing down through all 4 corners of the feet. The feet should be flat. Keep your spine straight when you swing side to side. Go ahead, stop in the middle. Tuck the tailbone, round the spine, coming all the way up. And then once you're up, uncross the feet. Release the interlace of the fingers. Take the silk once again up over your head, out to the sides. Flex the hands. Inhale, look up. Lengthen the whole front line of the spine. Exhale, hands back. Take a dive forward. Tuck your chin on your way down. Press your palms to the fabric. Inhale, flat back. Line up your shoulders with your hips. Create space between your shoulders and your ears. A little bit more weight to the balls of your feet. And then exhale, go ahead, fold a little bit deeper. Stay here, chest towards the thighs, nose towards the shins. And just alternate bending one knee and then the other. Feel it warming up the hips, the hamstrings. Bending both knees, straightening the legs, doing that a few times. And then soften your knees, keep your chin tucked. This time we're going to roll all the way up. 1 vertebrae at a time. Push the silk out on your way up. Inhale, look up, open up your chest. Press out with your arms. And then exhale, come back to neutral position. Place the fabric back behind you. Once again, moving the silk right to about that bra strap height, right underneath your shoulder blades. Drop your weight down into the silk. Chair pose. Interlace the fingers, support the head, drop your weight back, extend your legs, turn your toes out. And this time we're going to incorporate the arms. So take a full extension in your arms, bend your right knee, drop your right arm down, bend your left knee, drop your left arm down, and working that side to side. When you swing right, right arm goes down. When you swing left, left arm goes down. Doing that a few times. Slowing it down. And then coming back through center. Both hands catch hold of the silk. Bend into your knees, make a little adjustment so the feet are about hip distance. Take a big step back with the left foot. Long distance between the feet. Rise up a little bit. Square off the hips and then a deep bend into the right knee. The right knee is directly over the right ankle. Keep pressing that back leg straight and strong. That back heel is pressing forward. Push your feet in towards the ground, navel in, ribs in. Engage your left butt cheek this time, and optional, add that back bend, stretching back. Keep pushing down through the feet, core is engaged. Come back to the silk, lower the left knee down, top of the left foot down, take the right leg straight. Now right foot is active and flexed. You're trying to drag the skin on the right heel back. Both elbows come inside, pop it off your shoulders. Hips go back, slide your hands down the fabric all the way until they meet. Once they meet, create that bind. Pull down, elbows forward and down. Right hip is pulling back. Nose is reaching towards that big toe. Left hip bone forward, right hip bone back. And gently rise up. Once again, you might have to adjust this right foot a little bit more towards that center line of your mat. Keep the foot flexed. Go into an external rotation. Don't buckle the knee. Keep that right leg straight. And then just start to stretch your upper body off to the right. Squeezing the thighs together. Feeling that twist. And then inhale, come back through center. Right toes extend up, rise up. Take the right leg back to meet the left. Release the interlace of the fingers, just holding on the silk. Inhale, pull down. We're going to, the second time through, we're going to change things up a little bit. So you're going to work into dragon dive, so undulating the spine. So we're going to inhale here, starting the same way we began earlier, but then pull yourself up. Pin the elbows in, shift your weight back, extend your arms, drop your hips, tuck your chin, and then you're going to start again. So you're going to inhale forward, pull yourself up, exhale, lean back, extend your arms, drop your hips, keep going. Inhale forward, up, back, roll through, move through every inch of the spine from the crown of the head to the tip of the tailbone. Do 2 more. Inhale, forward, up, back, roll through. Last one, forward, up, back, roll through. Rise back up onto the knees. Step your left foot down. Interlace the fingers. Press into your left foot. The right leg extends straight back. Line up your arms with your ears. Stretch your body long. Find your balance. Navel in. Ribs in. Make sure to internally rotate this right hip. Take 1 more breath. And then step this right foot in front, little toes together. Squeeze your legs together. Press forward, and then swing the upper body side to side. Biceps in line with the ears. Legs engaged. Ground down through your feet. Feet are flat. Stop in the middle. Roll yourself up, coming all the way up to standing, and uncross the feet. You're just going to grab a hold of the fabric, grabbing at the loop of the fabric. Fingers are in front, hands are about shoulder distance. Take a step underneath your plumb line, lift your heels, press the silk low on the body, get as low as you can, ideally to touch the thighs. Once you get that in place, go ahead, take a step forward. Begin to put your weight down into the silk. Take the hands to the ground. Walk back until the feet come away from the ground, finding a hip hang position. Once you're here, spread your fingers wide. Squeeze your legs together. Biceps with the ears. Navel pulling in. Now keep your arms straight, elbows locked, and begin to swing your feet and your hips side to side. Start with a light swing, and then as the body loosens, make it a little bigger, stretching a little deeper. and then stopping in the middle. Bring your toes a little closer to the ground now. Bring your chest towards your thighs. Begin to play around with your balance. Release your hands from the ground. And if you feel stable, interlace your fingers behind your back, palms touching, wrists touching. And then start to extend your arms away from your hips, adding a shoulder stretch. You feel like you're going to fall out of the pose. Keep bringing your chest towards your thighs towards your chest. Soften the neck. Head is heavy. Gently release your hands. Take your hands back down to the mat. Stretch them forward. Come back to that hip hang. And then we're going to crochet the right leg around the silk. So you're going to take it around, wrapping from the outside. Flex the foot so the top of the foot hooks to the silk, and then extend the right leg straight up. Once you're here, both feet should be reaching in opposite directions. Inhale, stretch long. Exhale, you're going to shift forward, shoulders over the wrists. Tuck the pelvis in, bend the left knee in towards the chest, and hold here. Keep pressing down through the hands. Keep the core engaged. Left thigh touching the chest. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, gently release. Release the right leg down. Come back to your starting position. And then crochet the left leg. The left leg wraps around, flex the foot, slide it up. Stretch back, both feet reaching in opposite directions. Inhale. Exhale, shift forward, shoulders over the wrists, tuck the hips under, bend the right knee into the chest, hold. Thigh is pulling towards the belly, tight. Breathe. Gaze is in between the thumbs for balance. And release. Stretch it back. Release the left leg down to meet the right. Full body stretch. And then go ahead, connect your feet down towards the ground. Roll yourself up. Head is always the last thing to come up. Once you're up, shoulders down away from your ears, take a moment, pause. Breathe, keep your eyes open. And then adjust the silk so that you can connect your right ankle into the fabric. Okay. Once you have that, move the hands into the hips, square the hips off to the front. Make sure your left hip is directly over your left heel. Draw your belly in. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, reach forward, grab your 2 poles, line up your fists with your shoulders. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, pull your pelvis back, press the fabric forward, navel in, draw your chin into your chest. Now be careful when you're here that you're not shifting your body weight forward. You want to keep pulling the hips back. So pelvis is moving back, it's the upper body that's coming forward. Lengthen the back line of the neck. Feel the stretch into the hamstrings on this right leg. Every exhale, press a little deeper. Pull the hips back a little further. And then inhale, pull your belly back and in, rise all the way up to a standing position. Connect both ropes into only the left hand. Inhale the right arm forward. Keep the position of the hips. Take the right arm up towards the sky and then stretch it back behind you. Now as you just keep pressing with that left hand, pushing the silk forward, finding rotation in the spine. You just have a nice straight line from wrist to shoulder to wrist. Press that right hip down. Every inhale, lift the spine up another inch. Every exhale, rotate and twist another inch. On your inhale, reach that right arm up towards the sky. We're going to switch the hands. The right hand is going to grab your 2 ropes. Left hand moves onto the hip. Pivot this left foot open, so you're opening your body out to the side. A lot of times we do that. That right hip tends to want to roll in. So you're going to wrap that right hip down, keeping that pelvis more neutral. Keep pressing with the right arm. Inhale, left arm up and over. Either the arm can just frame the ear, palm is facing down. Focus on opening up that whole left side of the body. If it's successful, you can grab a hold of the silk, push the silk forward. Left shoulder's pulling back, bottom shoulder's pressing forward. Keep pressing the left hip back. And breathe into the left side of the ribs. Feel the intercostal stretch on every inhale, and every exhale, stretch deeper. Use your inhale, use the top arm, move from your core, rise up, turn your body to face the front. We're gonna hook at the knee now, so just bend the knee, move the fabric right behind the knee, slide your arms up, lift your left heel, pivot your left toes forward, and then go ahead, begin to shift forward, find your balance, and then start to slide your hands down until you get to a good place in the hips. Keep pressing that left heel forward. Your right hip is pulling back, shoulders down the back. Left leg is straight and strong, left knee is locked. And then with your inhale, go and shift back. Release the right leg. Switching sides, left leg in. Hook the fabric under the ankle. Hands on your hips. Square your hips off to the front, left hip on back, right hip on forward. Belly is drawing in. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, grab a hold of your two poles. Line up your fists with your shoulders. Pull your pelvis back. Press the fabric forward and tuck your chin. Keep pushing. Keep pulling the hips back. Belly towards the thigh. Nose is reaching towards the chin. Make sure there's a long line in the back line of that neck. Keep pushing. And inhale, pull from your navel. Rise all the way up. We're going to find that twist so the right hand grabs two ropes. Keep pressing with that right arm. Left arm goes forward, and then inhale, stretch up. Begin to look past the left shoulder. Both hands stretching in opposite directions. Remember, we should have a straight line from wrist to shoulder to shoulder to wrist. If that left hip is coming up, push that down. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, rotate more. With that right hand, keep pressing the silk forward, using that to twist deeper. Inhale, reach that left arm up, facing the front, switching the hands. Left hand's going to grab two ropes. Right hand moves onto the hip. Pivot yourself open out to the right. Now again, notice what happens with that left hip. Create space in that left hip and press it down. Right arm goes out and over. Palm is facing down. Arm is in line with the ear. If you have more flexibility, so you can grab hold of the silk and press the silk forward. Right shoulder is pulling back. We're trying to stack the shoulders. Right hip is pressing back. Breathe into the whole right side of the ribs. Every exhale, stretch deeper. Use your inhale, move from the core. Use that top arm, rise all the way up. Turn your body towards the front. Bend the left knee, hook just behind that left knee. Grabbing hold of your two poles. Pivot your right toes completely forward and try to find the center of the mat. Lift the right heel and then stretch forward into that lunge. You can walk your hands down a little bit to get a little bit more depth into the hips. Now this time we're pressing that right heel forward. Right leg is locked. Shoulders pulling down the back. Create space between your shoulders and your ears. Gently shift back. Release the left leg. Beautiful. We're going to do a little bit of core work from here. So we've already warmed up the spine a little bit. We've warmed up the hips, hamstrings, hip flexors. So now we're going to build up a little bit more into the core. So go ahead, come down to the mat. Your fingers should be more towards the front edge of the mat. The silk should be back behind you. So you're starting in this tabletop position. I want you to look over your right shoulder, see the fabric behind you, and get your right foot into the silk. Once you have that in, you want to internally rotate this right hip. So grabbing this right hip in and down, start to press back, pressing your hips back towards the left heel. Lower down to the forearms, create space in the upper back, and length through the back of the neck. So I want you guys to think about reaching the crown of your head forward. No bending into that right knee. Keep pressing that right leg straight. Inhale, come up onto the hands. Spread your fingers wide. Line up your hands directly underneath your shoulders. I want you to press down through your hands, protract your shoulders. So what that means is pulling the shoulder blades away from the spine, navel in, ribs in, and then move from your core, step your left foot into the silk as well, and find a floating push-up. Keep your neck long, belly engaged. We're going to inhale here, and then on the exhale, turn the hips to the right, bend the knees towards that right arm. Inhale, straighten legs, come back through center. Exhale, turn the hips left and bend towards the left. Continue that a few times. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Keep going. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center, hold. Feel the shaking. Feel the fire in the body. And then release the right leg down. Left leg is straight in. Turn and rotate that left hip. Lower down into your forearms. Keep pressing that left foot back. The hips are reaching towards the right heel. Create space in the upper back. Space between the shoulders and the ears. Find your breath. And then inhale, come up onto your hands. Spread your fingers. Hands are directly underneath your shoulders. Once again, push your hands down to the ground. Create space between the shoulders and the spine. So protracting the shoulders. Navel in, ribs in, left leg locked. Step your right leg into the silk. We're going to do the second time a little bit different. So you're finding that floating push-up. Inhale. Exhale, lift your hips to a pike position. Hips stack directly over the shoulders and look to your navel. We're going to repeat. Inhale, find the push-up. Exhale, find the pike. Hips up. Over the shoulders. Look to your belly. Good. Inhale. Plank position. Exhale, pike. Inhale, plank. Exhale, pike. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, lift hips up, hold. Find your balance, squeeze your legs together. Arms locked, legs locked, belly in. Breathe. Come back to your push-up position. Lower one knee down, other knee down. Rest your sit bones back towards your heels. Crawl your fingers forward for child's pose and rest. Inhale, rise up to your tabletop position. Curl your toes under. Press your hips up and back. Find a downward facing dog. Do anything here that feels good. You can pull out the heels. Alternate bending one knee and then the other. Maybe shifting the hips side to side. And then take a step forward with your feet. Walk your hands back. Inhale, lengthen spine, flat back. Exhale, soften your knees. Grab opposite elbows. Traction the spine. Release your arms. Keep your knees soft, navel in. Roll up one vertebrae at a time. Arms go out and up on your way up. Palms connect over your head. And then exhale, arms down by your hips. Roll your shoulders down away from your ears. Take a few breaths here. All right, so now moving into our second core sequence, and that sequence is going to bring us actually into a backward inversion from there. So you can do this without a blanket, but I'm going to do it with a blanket, so I'm going to show you how to do that. So grabbing a blanket, folding it up. Of course, it depends on the size of the blanket, how you're going to fold it, but you want it to look something like this. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take that blanket and you're going to bring it over the fabric and try to smooth it out so it's not folded, twisted, anything like that. Now what this is going to do is it's just going to make the fabric a little bit more comfortable. You can always start here, and then as you get more and more used to this posture, maybe the body starts to loosen up a little bit, you can always get rid of the blanket at any time. Okay? But all the cueing is going to be the same whether you use the blanket or not. So You're using the blanket, go ahead and place that. Bringing the fabric back behind you. And then you want to grab a hold of the silk, thumbs inside, fingers outside, hitting it down right to about the sacrum. Now the sacrum is going to be that flat bone at the base of the spine, and that's right where we want the fabric to connect. So you don't want to go too high on that lower back because it will kind of feel more pinchy in the lower back. And if you go too low under the sit bones or across the hips, it can tend to slide off the butt. So you do want to make sure that you're finding that sacral line. So pinning the fabric in, thumbs inside, fingers outside. Sometimes you have to lift up onto your heels to get that placement. And then you want to push down and in, so you're gluing the fabric in place. Pull one knee into your chest, the thigh is coming towards the chest. Core is engaged. Start to lean your weight back, releasing the bottom foot and sliding the arms up. So coming to a tuck position, sometimes we call this egg pose. If you didn't quite get the position of the fabric across that lower back quite right, you can always take an adjustment and push the fabric to where you need it while you're here. So doing a little bit floating abdominal sequence, extend one leg straight up towards the sky, the other leg parallel to the ground, and feel right away your core engage. Keep your chin tucked, keep the navel in, switch your legs for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pull both knees in. Once again, find that tuck position. You're going to use this as a rest and regain connection with your breath. So take 3 breaths here. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. 2 more like that. Okay, so this next sequence, you're going to take your knees out. Now make sure the fabric is in front of those thighs and not the thighs in front of the fabric. So knees wide, the fabric should be right in front. Now bring your big toes together. Slide your hands down a little bit so your elbows and shoulders are in one line. Now we're doing these little contractions. 80% is going to come from the core, 20% is going to come from the arms. You're going to inhale here, exhale, you're going to contract out. Shh, 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 shh. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to keep this position. Go ahead, watch first, and then I'll guide you through. You're going to take your feet around the silk, hook your feet so the fabric hooks to the top of the feet. Keep your knees wide, and then very gently start to release the spine, grabbing opposite elbows. So let me guide you through that. So starting from this position, slide your hands down, take the feet around the fabric, hook the fabric to the tops of the feet, knees stay wide, release your spine, grab opposite elbows, and come into a static traction in the spine. Find connection with your breath once you get there. Release all the muscles in the stomach, all the muscles in the back. Allowing yourself just to find a few moments of stillness here. And then we're going to add a deeper traction. So you're going to take your hands onto your thighs, take them close to your hip creases, and then actively push your thighs up towards the sky. You'll notice how that will create a deeper decompression on that lumbar spine. So hands in the thighs, push up, feel that deeper stretch. Keep space between your shoulders and your ears. Beautiful. Go ahead, release. So let's go ahead, keep your feet flexed. Slide both legs straight. Straight up the silk, straight up. Get them as straight as you can. Keep those feet flexed. And then once again, go ahead and grab opposite elbows. We call this a double leg crochet. Notice just how it changes the position a little bit, changes the feeling of the posture a little bit. So you'll notice we want to keep the spine relaxed, the core relaxed, but the legs stay active the whole time you're here. Take any back bending out of the spine. So really think about tucking the tailbone. Now when you first start with your inversion practice, you can stay in this position or positions like this for maybe a minute, and that can be more than enough. But you do really want to focus on, as you're doing this, preferably you're doing this every day, you work up to 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, so on and so forth. The longer you stay in these inversions, you're going to get more benefits of the inversion. If you have compression, you're going to work deeper decompression in the spine. And you can always feel free to pause this video anytime and stay here longer, but I'm going to cue you out of it. So you're going to start to slide those knees back into a bent position. Keep your feet flexed while you do that. Now, very important we come up from the core, not that lower back, because right now the lower back is a little bit of a compromising position, so we do want to keep that lower back safe. So what you're going to do is you're going to contract your core first, lift your pelvic floor, feel that tension, draw your chin to your chest, look up. You'll see 2 ropes right underneath your ankles. You're going to grab. And then you're going to gently begin to release, coming back to that tuck position. So arms go up, bend the knees, find that tuck position. We always come out halfway to this position and we hold. You don't want to go from a full inversion to being fully upright. It can be a little intense. You might get a little dizzy, a little lightheaded. So this is always a nice place to come. Give yourself a few breaths. And then take your feet down towards the ground. Allow the silk to come back right underneath the shoulders. Drop down, finding that chair pose once again, Utkatasana. Always after an inversion, when you come out, coming to a point of stillness, a moment of stillness, and that really gives you time to really feel what's happening in the body. And then as you're ready, stand into your feet and release the fabric. Okay, from here, if you have that blanket, you can go ahead, release it. And we're going to get into the silk. So I want you to find the edge of the fabric. Make sure it's the true edge and that it's not folded or twisted. So find the true edge, fanning it open. And then I want you to grab 6 handfuls. So it looks like this. I collect 6 handfuls of the silk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we grab 6 because 12 handfuls should get us somewhere to the other edge of the silk, and we want to make sure we only go about halfway in. So we have equal amount of silk in front of us and behind us. So that's why we do 6. Once you have those 6 handfuls, bring the fabric back behind you. Hook your elbows inside and step underneath your plumb line. Now elbows inside, this is going to be a pretty important cue. If the elbows are in front, you'll have troubles getting the silk underneath your hips. So try not to miss that cue. Elbows inside. Once you have that, push the fabric down underneath your hips and all the way out to the knees. Beautiful. Go ahead, catch the fabric and open up behind you. So as you lay back, you have this hood for your head, and then you're going to work the fabric all the way out to your toes. Once you're there, stretch your body long, palms together, biceps in line with the ears, and then just begin to gently take a side bend, so reaching your fingers and toes towards the right, fingers and toes to the left, repeating that a few times. And then stop in the middle. Now you won't be able to see the monitor here, so you do want to make sure that you're really listening for my voice. Extend your right leg up towards the sky. Reach your hands up, either catching at the foot, or if that's too far away, grab either behind the ankle, the calf, or the knee. The point is to hug the right leg into the body, stretching both feet in opposite directions. Keep the right leg active and engaged. You can either point the right toes or flex the right foot. Every exhale, get the thigh a little closer towards the chest, the ankle a little closer towards your nose. And then a few times we're just going to bend and straighten this right leg. Now it's a micro bend and straight, so the right leg shouldn't move too much. So just doing a little micro bend into the right knee, pull down a little tighter on the leg, and then press the right leg into extension, but keep the leg close towards the chest. And just do that a few times. Soften the right knee. So we're bringing the hamstrings into a state of soft. And then you're going to push, bring them into a state of lengthen. Do that 2 more times. Bend the right knee, pull the leg in closer, stretch the right leg straight. 1 more, bend the knee, press it straight. Now this time when you straighten, I want you to hold here, contract the core, bring the nose up towards the shins, a little bit more intense version of the pose. Keep pulling down the leg. And then gently release the leg, release the head. Once again, extending the arms up over the head, palms together, legs together. Gentle side bending side to side. Stopping in the middle, switching sides, so it should be the left leg now. Extend the left leg up towards the sky. Reach your hands up, grab as close to the foot as you can. Either point or flex the left foot, you decide, and then hug that left leg in towards the belly. Feel the hamstrings on this left leg come into stretch. Once again, a few times, micro bend the left knee. Hold a little tighter on the leg, and then press the left leg straight. Do that 3 more times. Bend, get the leg closer, straight. Bend, leg closer, straight. And last one. Bend, leg a little closer, straight. Now hold here, contract the core, and on your exhale, bring your nose up towards your shin. Hold here. And then gently release the leg, release the head down, full body stretch. Palms connect over your head. Now don't get too comfortable. We're here. We're going to work the fabric from under the heels. You're going to work it underneath the knees so your feet can dangle towards the ground. Reach up, pull yourself up to a seated position. And then you're going to take both hands, grab the fabric on your left side. So you're grabbing it like a single rope. Press the silk away from you, so you're creating space between you and the fabric. And then you're going to take this left leg up and over, so you're straddling the silk. So you're going to, with your right hand, you can reach down, grab it, place it over, switch your hands. You can drop that left foot down. Once you're here, the fabric should be in between the legs. You do want to pull yourself upright a little bit so you know that you're sitting nice and tall. Once you're there, grab all the fabric together. Once again, out in front of you, your hand should be in line with your nose. Press the silk forward, lock out your arms. Pull your shoulder blades away from the chest, draw your chin into your chest, and then just take a little half circle here, side to side, massaging into the neck. Bring the head back through center, keep pushing with your arms. Release your right hand, reach down, catch a hold of your right foot, flex the foot. And we're going to keep that foot flexed, place it inside the fabric with the toes extended up towards the sky. Switch your hands now, right hand's going to grab hold of the fabric, left hand releases, reach down, catch a hold of your left foot, place that left foot in the silk. Now make sure there's no fabric between the feet and the feet bottoms are touching. Once you have those placed, you can release the press on the fabric. Now move the hands to the creases of the knees and push the knees away. So basically what we're doing is we're forcing the hips into more of a opening, an extra rotation in the hips. So we're going to press those hips down and away until you feel a stretch. And then release the push. Inhale your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, wrap your arms around the fabric. See if you can grab opposite elbows. If you can't quite grab opposite elbows, grab whatever you can. But try to get a nice tight hold on the silk. Pull the elbows towards the chest. Bow your head forward so you're taking your nose towards your toes. Feel the stretch here in the lower back, in the hips, in the groin. Shoulders down away from the ears. Heels towards the belly. Take a few breaths. And then go ahead, gently release. Of course, you can always hold any of these postures a little longer and just kind of pause this video at any time. All right, so you're gonna grab a hold of the edges of the fabric, pull the fabric taut, lean back a little bit so you're creating some space between your feet and your chest. Keep your feet touching, slide them all the way up. They need to go straight up the silk until the legs are fully extended. Now go ahead, flex the feet, so you're pressing the heels up. The toes are pulling down towards you. If you're getting too much into the hamstrings, just soften the knees. And you can always start there, and as flexibility comes, you can extend those legs a little bit more. You have two options. You can either take your peace fingers, that's going to be your pointer finger and your middle finger, and grab a hold of those big toes, pull back on the toes, so you're pulling down. Elbows either go towards the shins or past the shins, and you find a forward fold. You can stay here, or you can take your arms outside the fabric, catch a hold at the heels. Now same thing with the arms, the elbows pull towards the shins, maybe past those shins, past the calves, and tuck the chin. Belly is towards the thighs, nose towards the knees. Lengthen the back line of the neck. Keep the legs active, soften your knees if it's too much in your hamstrings. Breathe. Inhale, go ahead, gently release. Now we're going to take both hands towards your left side. You're going to find that edge of the silk that's on your left side. So holding on to it with both hands. We're basically going to move our body so we're laying on this left side. So just watch first and then you'll join in. Just use my upper body to start to press my chest and my arms to that left side. And then starting to turn my hips, bending into the knees, and extending the feet in the opposite direction. So you should end up lying on your left side. Hips are stacked, shoulders are stacked. Once you're there, we're going to do a little flexion, extension of the spine. Inhale, stretch back, take your heels to your butt, reach your arms back, so you're finding a back bend. And then exhale, reach your fingers towards your toes, find a forward bend. Do that a few times. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, reach forward. Inhale, stretch back. Exhale, forward. Inhale, stretch back. Exhale, forward. Good. Come onto your back. So you use the silk to adjust. And then you're just going to move all the way to the other side. So turning your hips with the right hip down now. Left hip on top. Turn your upper body. Now same thing, inhale, back bend, bend your knees, take your heels, your butt, stretch your arms back. Exhale, forward bend, stretch your fingers towards your toes. Repeat that a few times. Inhale, back. Exhale, forward. Every time, stretch further back. Beautiful. One more. Extend your body and make your way back onto your back. Square off your hips. Square off your shoulders. One last time, full body stretch. And then you can bend into your elbows. This might be comfortable for a place to keep your shoulders, or if it's not, you can always cross your arms over your chest inside the silk. So find out where the arms feel the most comfortable. Close your eyes. Completely relax your body. Allowing your body to be heavy. Releasing any control on the breath. Just allow the breath to move freely. Feel the sensations in the body. Notice if anything feels a little different than when you started your practice. You can stay here as long as you like. Come on out whenever you're ready. As always, it's a pleasure guiding you through this practice. And I'm so honored you're here doing the work. I love you so much, and namaste.